Hello, good morning, day 640. Since 50 hostages have been brutally, barbarically, violently, and inhumanely were kidnapped to the hell called Gaza by the inhumane, barbaric, rapist, modern-day Nazis, monsters of Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, UNRWA, the UN, Al Jazeera, and the rest of the complicit in Gaza are all proxies of Iran. We are here every morning to demand from them to surrender and let all 50 hostages go immediately, at once, in one phase, one bus, all of them together. No one is left behind, and Israel should give up nothing. As the teams are negotiating right now in Doha, Qatar, join me to tell them and demand that all 50 hostages will be released on the first ceasefire day. The first day, all of them. They are talking about dividing the hostages again, leaving some behind. We've been in this situation again and again. In the first ceasefire deal in November of 23, when only women and children, and not all women and children, were released, and leaving majority of men behind and other women, until February of this year, where we saw more released. We need all of them. Everyone who is left there, we needed to be pressured on them to release them all together so we can finally finish with this. The war will be over when all hostages will be back home. And if they will release only a few, what will happen down the line is that the ceasefire somehow will break down, probably by Hamas, and we will resume the war, and there will more hostages staying there for a few more months till the next negotiations. We are done with this cycle. We're done with leaving men behind. President Trump and Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu are supposed to meet today. Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu is on the way there to talk about the deal, to talk about potential countries joining the Abraham Accords, which is very exciting to see. But as Trump has said at the beginning of his presidency, we want all of them. All of them include 2 American hostages who are, according to reports, are not alive, Omer Nutra and Itai Chen. We demand all of them. They're alive and they're not alive to get back home. And Israel will continue to do whatever it needs to defend itself. The Houthis have been shooting rockets at Israel, and therefore IDF is attacking in Hodeidah port and other locations that Houthis are in control of in Yemen. We are not gonna sit by and let them continue shooting rockets at us. At the same time, Hamas is continuing also shooting rockets at Israel. They're not done, even though some reports are sharing, the Hamas leader from the Strip is sharing that Hamas has lost control over 85% of the Gaza Strip, and 95% of the top leadership is dead, is gone. That's thanks to the IDF, since Trump has been in office, and also the chief of staff of the IDF has been replaced. We see a different story in the war in Gaza. The war in Gaza has continued for so long, for so long, because Biden was in office, and we had a chief of staff of the IDF who was miserably failing since October 7, on the day of October 7, and since then he had to be replaced. Since he has been replaced, we have a new amazing commander-in-chief for the IDF, chief of staff. So we see progress. We see IDF is taking, annexing territory of Gaza and pressuring Hamas to break down. Hamas is now negotiating with Israel about the humanitarian aid. They want, as part of the ceasefire, that the IDF will allow the UN once again to distribute the humanitarian aid straight to the hands of Hamas, because that's how they're making the money so far. But since the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, has been collaborating together with the IDF to provide humanitarian aid to Gaza separately of Hamas, Hamas is getting broke. They don't have money to pay for the terrorists, and they want to take control over the distribution of the humanitarian aid, meaning just to sell it to the Gazans, because they steal it instead of giving it them for free, same as the GHF does. That's what Hamas wants. We cannot let them stay in power. We're not gonna allow them to continue steal the aid and sell it to the Gazan and to stay in control. We need to eradicate Hamas from the face of the earth and their ideology. We need to introduce sane education to the Gazans, that they can live in peace, same as Israel is live in peace with other of the neighbors. Also Gazan can get there if they would just give up on the delusional ideology that they will annihilate the Jews, because it will never happen. Jews will continue to stand strong, survive and thrive, or will continue to do whatever we need to defend ourselves, because we don't care about a bad image. We rather live. We will continue living proudly between the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. Am Israel will always be. Am Israel Chai forever and have risen like a lion.